This week on Carlie's Couch, we're talking about the fear of being seen or perceived and how this could be holding us back from showing the world all of our true greatness.
Come on, Sister Lex.
How y'all doing? Welcome to Carlie's Couch. Sorry, I got something in my eye for everybody watching the video. Like, why am I? Spaz it out. Welcome to the couch. I'm Lex. This is Carlie. This is Marvel also here. Shout out my friends, Kyle and RJ, because they were like, oh, you're not feeling good. Let's send Marvel your way. So appreciate them because she always cheers me up. So that's my little service animal. Although
Emotional support animal.
yeah, but then I'm like her emotional support animal because she be tripping sometimes too. But yeah, I don't have a dog. I've never had my own dog, but that's what makes it like so fun, you know, with other people's animals, like with them loving you, or like when other people have kids and the kids really love you, like that's perfect.
If you didn't have dogs, did you ever have other pets?
No, I didn't really have any other pets. I had an aquarium. One of my brothers had a hamster at one point. I had a hermit crab at one point. But no, nothing like a big animal.
Oh, cool. I mean, I had a small dog. I had a weenie dog for a long time. Shout out to Thumper. R.I.P. I had parakeets, fish, a bunch of pets. Not all at the same time, all at separate times. But anyways.
Shout out all the service animals out there. We love you.
But it was you talking about your hurt emotional support animal is so funny because I always see that they're like, I got this dog for anxiety, and the dog's like
dog
shaking without them.
Be down bad. But I saw something that said too, like they were like the dogs when they're like that, it's like they're scared about you, or like it's like they feel like they need to be watching you. Like if you walk away or something, they're like, oh man, like she gonna need me for something. Like what is she doing? What's going on? So it's like I wonder like what's really going on in their minds. Like so you could know. If it's like, oh, she leaving me, or if it's like, oh, let me go save her from whatever she about to do. Like, I wonder what she's thinking about. See, like, she's trying to save me from my brother now, who's just going to get a little snack. So, thank you, Marvel, for saving us.
For being strong and protecting us.
Right.
But anyways, so this week's episode, I hadn't really considered the fear of being seen, but I was talking to somebody and it was shared in the context of like it was holding them back in their creativity because they were scared of being seen. And that kind of just got the idea flowing for this episode because I don't think it's something we've ever talked about. It's probably been interwoven into other topics, but never as like a standalone.
But what's interesting is they recognize that they had that fear of being seen, which I think a lot of times it's something that kind of have to uncover, like to recognize if you even have that or that's the actual issue. So do you feel that them knowing that is already like them on the right path of moving forward?
I think so. But whenever you want to be in a career that is seen, like a celebrity, famous person, actor, singer, whenever you want to be on a stage, I think it's a lot easier to notice your fear of being seen because you're actually actively putting yourself in those situations.
Yeah. And that's what's interesting about it is because you can have a fear of being seen and feel exposed even if you want that visibility, or even if you say like you want to be popular or you want people to see you. And so it's still so interesting that it's something that you have to actively fight through. I have some friends that are in different spaces, clients in different spaces where they're seen by lots of folks, and like just even seeing firsthand like what it looks like to have like a large amount of followers online. And it's like the way people just talk as if like you're not even there or not a person or say things. And it's just like why would you say that? It's just, you know, you're just open to more weirdness and just so much positive and negative because both can take you down a different road. And so, yeah, it's a lot to put yourself out there when you know that now with social media and the way that tech is, there's so much more commentary and critique that you can be getting from anywhere.
Yeah, that's super fair. And so you kind of already said it, but like a definition of fear of being seen is fear of being perceived, judged, or exposed, like even if you want to be visible, like my friend. And that is often rooted in shame, self-doubt, or fear of not being enough, maybe not being accepted. I think maybe for artists, like not maybe, because a lot of my artist friends sometimes have that too when I think about them sharing their work, like that being perceived by other people.
Or it's like not, there's maybe truer emotions or another level of feelings and things that it's like, I don't even really want to say like the real stuff, in like my social media video or whatever. Like, let me just keep it up here or say the things, that people will be cool with. They don't need to know all the deep, secrets and stuff. And so, yeah, sometimes that leads us to putting out there an inauthentic version of ourselves or a version that we think people can digest or want to see. And then that leads to other like issues with alignment further down the road. So there are some signs that you may have this fear of being seen, perceived. One of them is a huge one, which I've had all the time. It's procrastinating on sharing your work or sharing ideas. I literally have like a case study that is like 4 years old now that's still in a draft mode for some reason. And actually it's in draft mode because good things keep happening. I'm like, I should just add that in there. I should add that in there. And it's never been out. There's other projects and stuff that I've done, never finished it or never fully like developed it out into like putting it out in the world. So if you're procrastinating on things because they're not good enough for you, then that may be something that you have an issue with as well.
I think that's a huge one. Another one is you'll notice yourself avoiding attention, even when opportunity arises.
Yeah, I see people. It always makes me feel sad when I see it. And I know I've been there before too. It gets easier when you have more clarity and practice with it. But when you see people being asked about their work or their company or whatever, and it's like they don't really give a good umph on like what it is, or they're kind of mumbling around or fumbling with it. To me, that feels like, all right, like the opportunity might be arising where somebody's asking you about what you do, or, this is the time for them to be sold on it. And you're just like not together. It's hard for you to talk about it. And it might be that you're not sold on it. You don't feel confident on it. You don't feel like it's good enough. And those things are holding you back. Whereas the truth of the matter may be that that thing that you're offering might have just been perfect for them.
Yeah, but they won't know if you don't know and you never share it. Mm-hmm. And so that can keep you and other people from getting what they need.
Yeah, and similarly, downplaying yourself or hiding your talents, not being able to accept compliments or just you know what that means when you're not able to like fully just even accept that you're doing a good job or good with things.
Yeah, we had a whole episode about being humble. So shirking off attention and downplaying yourself is not being humble. So don't do that. And then another one you'll notice is if you have a fear of posting, speaking up, and being vulnerable. I think that's a big thing we talk about. Like even with people who are close to you, like if they don't know you authentically, and those are people you say that are closest or that love you, like I think that's super important to learn how to get okay with sharing more of yourself with others. Like that opens you up to a whole other like world of deep connection and love and joy and peace whenever you're able to do those things.
Yeah, and because a lot of folks also are afraid of connection and love and joy and peace, the fear of being seen is something that can also really be holding you back. If you're afraid to be seen, you can be blocking things that you say that you want because, why else would you have started a business? Like you want to be successful, and by being like, oh, we just do this, or, not having your stuff together, you are not putting yourself in position to be successful. So you may be blocking recognition, growth, connecting with other people.
You could be blocking yourself from love because people can't love on you if they don't know who you are and you never share yourself. I think the big one, though, is it keeps you stuck in this loop of maybe creating things or building things or putting your energy towards it, but you're never sharing it. You're never talking about it. You're never putting it out there. You're never big up in yourself so nobody can even support, buy the product, listen to the song, watch the thing, give you feedback. You're really keeping yourself stuck and playing really small.
Yeah, a big sign of you being afraid of being seen is if you're that person who's always working on something. Like, I'm always working on this. I'm working on something. I got this project. I'm doing this thing. And now I just thought of a few other people I know. But it's like, okay, like you ain't never put nothing out, but you're always like working on something. And sometimes we also need things to be falling apart around you so you can have something to work on or something to do, in which case it's like you're always being reactive and never really like in the forefront of progress and pushing things forward as well.
And I think that the biggest scary thing about that is like the biggest like thing that people have when they die are regrets. And so, when you get to the end, you never finish working on a thing, or you did and you just never put it out. Like, why not just see? Why not just try for the relationship? Why not just put yourself out there?
So, Carlie, is there any times in particular you can think of where you did not show up fully like you could have, and it impacted what happened?
The two that came to top of mind when you just asked that are, one, we talked about how as like a fitness professional and someone in wellness, like when I'm larger or not my best self, like it keeps me from sharing stuff sometimes, like workout videos or things that I might have been working on.
Oh, like when you don't feel like you're healthiest.
Yes,
I see.
yeah, then I haven't done that. I would say everything I show up for, I've always given my whole heart to. And I don't think of, like, I've never not done anything except for business development and like sharing stuff. That's really the only two areas I'm like, yeah, I could be holding myself back because I notice like the perfectionism, which is really just a fear of being seen because I'm not feeling good enough in that thing.
And mine, it will typically be like the information's not good enough, but also I don't know, I wouldn't say it like good enough. It's just I always feel like people know things, and I always have to remind myself like people don't know stuff that seems like mad basic to me. They don't necessarily realize, and or that there is so much value people do get from sometimes basic things or the way you say a thing, right? Another thing that sometimes holds us back is feeling like, well, there's a lot of people already saying the same type of thing or having the same message or with the same type of business or whatever, right? And yes, a lot of content now when we go online does seem like it's like the same types of stuff. And there is always still space for you, your message, your authenticity, and how you deliver what you have to say and what you put out into the world, because it all works together, right? Like whereas somebody may follow one person and get tips from them or understanding from them or fitness or whatever from them, another person may resonate more with you and what you have to say and what you do and the way you do things. And so just because other people are doing something similar or even at different, what you may say are levels, like people also like to see just regular looking types of content and production and things too, right? Sometimes we feel like it's not good enough because we don't have all these transitions and, all these just different things to it. And good is better than non-existent. And so us being perfectionists in that way is not going to move you forward. And if that's the goal, then you're working against yourself.
And in a sense for oversaturation, like there's only one you. So your view, where you come from, is not out there already. And so you're doing yourself and the world a disservice by not putting it out there.
So then where does this come from, this fear of being seen or being vulnerable? What could be some things that are attributive of this?
I think what we were just talking about, so fear of perfection, like you are fearing not being good enough or not having stuff done or it not being perfect. Like, so when you finally do get your opportunity, like you're not going to be ready. And so I think that just keeps a lot of people stuck.
We also already mentioned social media. So seeing so many things that you can compare yourself against it makes it very difficult. And it makes it hard for us to feel like we're ready or that anything we have is good enough because we see so many examples of it.
Yep. Childhood, everything goes back to childhood, but thinking about like, people telling you need to be, not seen and not heard, but you maybe got in trouble for always showing up and being loud and talking. And so you now just have this fear because that's what you got ingrained into you. And so now it's just like how you live your life. Maybe you failed a really big test and got really embarrassed or did a presentation in front of a school and got made fun of. And so now you don't want to do things.
Yeah. Being ridiculed or judged in the past can keep you from ever wanting to put yourself out there again. And just also like if you're just afraid of being seen in the wrong way, like you just don't want to be misunderstood. So, it's that makes it difficult to be really real because everybody may not even be looking to understand you as well. Like it is tough because some people are looking, no matter what you're talking about and doing, they're looking to disagree or looking to kind of cut you down or whatever, right? Which goes back to our other topic and episode about like people really being reflective like a mirror to them. This reminds me of my friend Stone, who's a music artist. He just told the world that he's like, I can sing and I've been singing for 5 years and whatever. Anyway, so with Stone, it's so funny. He texted me the other day and was like, he was so excited. He was like, hey, I got my first hate comment. And somebody he sent it to me. It was like somebody on one of his TikToks of him singing a song was like, don't quit your day job. And it was so funny. We were both like, hey, we up. He was like, man, this comment means more than all the other ones. Everybody being like, good job. And you quit your job to do this. And good job singing. And da, 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 da. And it's so funny because like when you, but he also does have a fear of being seen. And there's something about like when you're actually confident in yourself and you know like what you're doing, it's like we both were like, he basically just telling us he suck at singing. Like we immediately were just laughing because it was like, this is great. Like that's how you know you're starting to make when random people feel like they got to say something to bring you down. So he was really hype, and I thought that was so interesting that we were both like, hey, first hate comment. And like that's the way, you know, if you can look at things in that lens, like that's such a blessing.
I was about to say, look, that's one of the ways to get over the fear of being seen. So if you notice, is one, he's putting in the work. So he like knows he's confident in himself because he's doing the things and trying and all that.
Right. He like, I know this guy's not doing nothing. So like, you know, that doesn't make you feel no kind of way. Okay, so now how can we start to get over these fears of being seen and perceived? Of course, you want to start very small. So practice showing up before you feel ready. And what are some small ways you could do that?
You could, one is do the work. So for example, like you want to start sharing workouts for people. So maybe you, all right, hey, y'all, today here's a quick, and you could do a little story like, hey, I'm going to share this thing. And you just share small pieces of the things that you're actually working on and doing. Like starting to share small.
Instead of like, you haven't done anything yet, and you're like, well, let me put this 5-piece series together that's going to transform your body in 20 days. And now you got to record all of it, do all of it, da-da-da-da-da. And that's the first thing you're trying to do, then that may be setting yourself up if you're not if you do have a fear of being seen.
So you could just start maybe posting your own workouts. Maybe start talking about why this is important to you, why you want to do it, who you want to help, like your own journey, like the little pieces of things about why things are important to you, or that, like, if that's who you are, right? If you're like, no, I just want to share the workouts, then that's fine too, but it has to start somewhere. And I would also venture to say, like, if you're trying to sell a workout program, maybe start sharing some free stuff first, seeing what people like, and then think about the program.
Yeah. Another way to get over the fear of being seen that relates to that is to be yourself as much as possible in these small bites in a way where you actually like care about the audience and other people. So like if you're giving to them or if you're asking them questions and really trying to learn and listen, it makes you feel like less of a taker with what you're doing. And it's more about like, all right, I really want to give, or like, you know, if you were getting on a stage to speak somewhere, like you wouldn't be scared if you knew you were about to tell everybody in the audience, like, I got $10 million for every person in here. Like, you'd be hype. And so it's like sometimes the reason like we're scared of being seen is because we feel like we're asking the people for something. We're gonna take something from them. So also you could shift that mindset to like see how you are giving and make sure that you honestly are being accountable and being like a true giver in what you are doing.
I love that. So starting small, checking in with your why and thinking about the value you're adding to other people. Letting go of perfection is a huge one. People really connect with authenticity, not perfect.
Correct. Also make sure you're anchored in purpose. When you're very clear on your why, the fears dim quite a bit. And that goes back to what we were saying about Stone. Like, he was so confident that it's like, and he knows why he's doing this, that he knows he's been putting in the work. And so I'm not as afraid because I'm not being dimmed.
I think the biggest, so you're shifting your perspective, you're anchoring in your purpose and figuring out why you want to do a thing, but then making the goal not other people to like you, but making the goal putting out what's true to you. If you make a goal to be authentic, to work in your why, and maybe starting off with a goal like, I'm going to do one small video a week or a month, like whatever your thing is, like anchoring in your why, shifting the goal to you doing a thing, which is something you can control.
You know, are we talking about ways to get over this? Okay, good. Because I was like, I don't even know if that's where we're at still. But, you know, another way to get over fear of being seen is also to involve other people into what you're doing and / investing into what you're doing. So if you have somebody else who is helping project manage with the thing with you, if you have a team, if somebody is like video recording it for you or helping you edit, like sometimes it's helpful to bring other people in, and especially to pay other people to be part of it, because now it's like you kind of owe it, you know, to the group and to everybody to get their parts done and to help you get something done. And when you're investing what you can into something, then you're also, it's like you're it's not as easy to like just put it down. You can still put it down, and I have put it down, but it's not as easy to like just kind of like throw something away or not use it or not do it, because you're investing your resources and you're having other people who are helping you be accountable and helping to invest in it as well.
Yeah, and then also, and I think that's super important. And in the same vein, thinking about maybe having an expert help you with something, like someone that you know who's good at it, asking them questions about moving forward. But make sure you don't get stuck and then just like talking about things instead of doing them. Like that's not actually being seen. But I think that may help give you more confidence if you're feeling really unconfident about stuff.
Mm-hmm. So here are some things, couchers, that you can try this week. Try posting or sharing something that may be a little bit more vulnerable, something you're working on, how you're feeling about things, what you have coming, maybe shy away from what you have coming up, but what you're actually doing.
Yeah, that's important. Next one is actually one of my friends is doing this because he's working on being a more magnetic person and just being more personable. Mm-hmm. And so practicing eye contact with people whenever you're speaking to them, or even like when you see them, maybe giving them a little head nod instead of shirking away or doing the little straight line smirk with your face. And then practice speaking up, like maybe saying hello to people, maybe asking them how they're doing, or speaking up in a work meeting if you don't typically do that, maybe asking a question in class, just practicing being okay in these different settings.
Mm-hmm. And then a couple of journal prompts you can try as well this week are, where am I hiding? And 2, what do I believe will happen if I'm truly seen? I think a lot of times, the issue is that like, oh, people really knew that I have 5 cents in my bank account, then they will feel like I'm this or treat me like this, or it will really mean that I am, XYZ. If people see this thing, then they're gonna think I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, what is it that you're really afraid of? Because those are the things now we have to build up the confidence or knowledge or whatever with ourselves.
And remembering it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to get done. Mm-hmm. So thinking about what you can get done this week, this month, to really live out your dreams and your goals. So as far as we know, we only have one, so why not spend it doing something that you want to do?
Yep. So get to it this week. Have a great one. We'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all. That's Marvel.